When a firm's growth starts slowing down, most founders look at marketing first. But if your firm was built on referrals, the real problem usually isn't visibility, it's repeatability. I'm Rachel Schlegel, and at OTM, we help founder-led firms move from unpredictable relationship-based growth to structured, scalable systems. Systems built for momentum long after the founder steps out of the daily sales cycle. Because that's the real inflection point, moving from relationships to repeatability. Early stage growth depends heavily on trust, and at the beginning, that's really powerful. Referrals from your network, repeat work from past clients, it's organic momentum, and it works until it doesn't. Most founder-led firms hit a ceiling around $1 million in annual revenue, not because their services are weak, but because their lead generation is reactive. You can't scale a pipeline that depends on who happens to know you. Meanwhile, 90% of today's B2B buyers are finding solutions on their own long before they ever reach out. They're not waiting for an introduction. They're researching, comparing, and vetting. And firms that don't show up systematically through thought leadership, outreach, strategic positioning, they never even make the shortlist. So if you're still relying on referrals as your primary growth channel, you're vulnerable. You're vulnerable to market shifts, to leadership transitions, to simply running out of people who know your name. And that's why building a real lead engine, something that's predictable, intentional, and measurable, becomes essential, and not later, now. The urgency only increases as your team grows. At around 10 employees, founder-driven sales still work. The founder is almost involved in every deal, and clients want the founder in the room. And at this stage, the process is light, the growth is still highly personal, but by 30 employees, everything changes. The founder's network is simply tapped, and the firm's marketing is usually inconsistent and usually reactive. And delivery demands start cannibalizing the time that should be spent building the pipeline. Collective Figures benchmarks show that 75 to 80% of firms at this stage struggle with stagnant pipelines because the founder-led model simply doesn't scale. Without a repeatable system, the business just plateaus and it becomes harder to forecast revenue. Sales cycles lengthen and then team confidence erodes. By 50 employees, the firms that are still relying on founder relationships to drive growth are either burning out or shrinking. The ones that thrive have made a different choice. They operationalized growth before it became a crisis. They built systems that aligned marketing and sales. They created consistent lead flow, measured lead to opportunity conversion rates around 10 to 15%, and structured pipelines with close rates around 40 to 50%. They didn't just build visibility, they built repeatability. And smart firms don't stop there. They leverage one of the most overlooked growth assets they already have, existing clients. Acquiring a new client costs 5 to 7 times more than expanding a current one. And increasing client retention by just 5% can drive profit growth of up to 95%. Every project delivered, every successful outcome should open doors to new revenue. Not someday, but by design. Through upselling, cross-selling, structured renewals, and proactive account expansion, existing clients become a durable and renewable source of growth. And every client success story should become part of the growth engine, not just an anecdote. Create case studies, testimonials, strategic referrals that are systematized and not occasional. That's what real scale looks like. It's more than just marketing. It's building a firm that generates its own momentum quarter after quarter, year after year. Moving from referrals to repeatability isn't about abandoning what built your reputation. It's about building the next layer of systems that your reputation can actually grow on. And if you're starting to feel that friction where relationships aren't fueling growth fast enough, that's not a sign that you're falling behind. It's a sign that you're ready to move forward. So if you're ready to move forward from relationship-dependent growth to scalable lead engine, keep following for more strategies built specifically for founder-led firms who are ready to scale.